great.
All right, huh?
Yahoo!
Now that you have the autogen automatic transfer switch, or ATS, you have the means to automatically start and run your electric start generator, providing your home with the power it needs during a power outage. With the ATS, you no longer have to worry about braving the elements to turn on your portable generator. In the event of a power failure, the ATS automatically turns on your electric start generator and transfers power to your manual transfer switch or emergency sub-panel. When power is restored, the ATS automatically turns off your portable generator and transfers utility power back to the circuits in the home. Now that you're the proud owner of the autogen automatic transfer switch, we'll walk you step by step through the installation process. We recommend, however, that you contact a licensed electrician or qualified installer to install the ATS in your home. The ATS unit comes with a detailed instruction manual to help you get started. Please make sure you read the instruction manual carefully before beginning the installation. The ATS itself consists of two components: the engine control, which starts and stops the generator engine, and the transfer switch, which controls the transfer of power from the generator to the manual transfer switch. A wire bundle used for connecting the generator to the engine control unit and a control cable, which links the engine control to the transfer switch, are all included with the unit. In addition to the necessary tools, you will need the following materials to install the ATS: a double pole breaker to match the amperage of your manual transfer switch, appropriate sized copper wire for the amperage of your breaker, plus conduit and fittings suitable for your electrical system. Keep in mind that you may also need a rain-tight inlet box for your generator cable, and a metal junction box, depending on the configuration of your electrical system connection. Always check all state, local, and municipal electrical codes for compliance before starting your project. Consult the compatibility information chart in your installation instructions to determine if there are any compatibility issues with your generator. The ATS switch is compatible with most 240-volt AC electric generators. The first component you will need to install is the ATS transfer switch. The transfer switch monitors power from your service panel. In the event of a power failure, the transfer switch sends a signal to the engine control to automatically start your generator. Once the generator is running, the ATS transfers the sub-panel load to the generator. To prepare for installation of the ATS transfer switch, select a location that will allow easy access for wiring to both the service entrance panel and the manual transfer switch. Keep in mind that the connections for the service entrance panel and the generator are on the right side of the ATS transfer switch, and the connections for the manual transfer switch are on the left side. When you've selected the best location, find the studs and measure and mark accordingly. Then, mount the transfer switch unit to the wall securely with appropriate screws and wall anchors. When you are ready to proceed, de-energize the service panel at the main breaker. And remember, power will be out for several hours during installation. Remove the service panel cover and test the circuits to make sure they are dead. Be careful, the lead-in wires above the main remain hot. First, you will need to install a double-pole circuit breaker in your service entrance panel. This circuit breaker will be used specifically for the ATS. When you have installed the circuit breaker, remove the cover on the ATS transfer switch. Remove the appropriate knockouts. Run wires through the conduit in the service entrance panel and through the upper knockout in the right-hand side of the ATS transfer switch. Connect the two wires to the utility connectors in the upper right corner of the ATS transfer switch, as described in the installation manual. Connect the other ends of the wires to the double-pole circuit breaker in the service panel, in accordance with the breaker label instructions. Please note that neutral wires from the generator or manual transfer switch should be passed through the knockouts of the ATS transfer switch to the service entrance panel. Also note that the ATS transfer switch has an enclosure ground connection, if one is needed for code compliance. Before proceeding, consult your installation instructions to determine the proper method for wiring the ATS transfer switch to your manual transfer switch. Run wires through the knockout in the left-hand side of the ATS transfer switch. Connect these wires to the load connectors located in the upper left corner of the ATS transfer switch. Be sure to use the correct amount of torque when tightening all connections. For this demonstration, we are wiring to Connecticut Electric's emergen manual transfer switch. Keep in mind that the ATS is compatible with most other brands of manual transfer switch. If your manual transfer switch has a cord whip connection, run the wires from the ATS transfer switch through a knockout in the junction box and connect them to the bare wire ends of your cord whip. Be sure to check your local electrical codes for the best way to do this in your locality. If your manual transfer switch does not have a cord whip connection, you will need to connect the ATS wires to the manual transfer switch itself. Connect the ATS wires to connectors in the transfer switch or emergency subpanel, according to your local electric codes. Portable generators are often connected via a flexible power cord that leads to a rain-tight box on the outside wall of the building. To connect the ATS transfer switch to your portable generator, you should first run wires through a knockout in the right-hand side of the ATS transfer switch. Connect these wires to the generator connectors, located just below the utility connectors for the service panel, in the upper right corner of the transfer switch. Next, run these wires to the rain-tight box that is used in connecting to the generator. Connect the wires to connectors inside the rain-tight box according to its instructions. Now you are ready to install the second component of the ATS, the engine control. The engine control automatically starts and stops your generator on a signal from the ATS transfer switch. The engine control also monitors and charges the generator battery. Begin by disconnecting the battery cables at the generator battery. Then mount the engine control on the tubular frame of the generator using the strap and two nuts located on back of the engine control. Be sure to place the engine control in a location on the frame that is away from heat-producing locations, like the engine exhaust. The method for wiring the engine control to your generator depends on the type of generator you own. The basic diagram for wiring the engine control unit is as follows. Red wire connects to the positive battery terminal. Black wire connects to the negative battery terminal. Blue wire is for the starter terminal. Orange cable is the choke control cable. Yellow wire is for the fuel flow valve. White wire will vary due to generator type. Please refer to the autogen owner's manual for specific installation instructions for your generator type. When you have finished connecting the engine control to the generator, connect the control cable to the modular jack located in the lower left corner of the engine control circuit board. Connect the other end of the control cable to the jack labeled Control on the ATS transfer switch front panel. Double-check all your wiring connections and replace the cover of the ATS transfer switch. To check the operation of the engine control, locate the slide switch on the engine control circuit board. Make sure that all of these slides are in the off position. On the transfer switch, make sure the auto off test switch is in the off position. Connect the black wire from the engine control to the generator battery negative terminal. Then connect the red wire from engine control to the battery positive terminal. Connect any other wires from the generator to the battery according to the manufacturer's instructions. When the green light at the bottom of the engine control circuit board comes on, the engine control is receiving power from the generator battery. If your generator has a mechanical choke, you will need to check its operation. To do this, slide switch 1 on the engine control circuit board to the on position using a pencil. The mechanical choke drive motor will be driven to one extreme of its travel. Slide switch 1 to the off position, and the mechanical choke drive motor will move to the other extreme of its travel. To test the system, first reinstall your load center cover and turn on the main breaker to restore power. Remember, an electrical inspection may be necessary at this stage. To test the ATS transfer switch, you must first turn on the double pole breaker in the service entrance panel, which is connected to the transfer switch. To test the generator, move the auto off test switch on the transfer switch to test position. The green all OK light should come on, and the generator should start. Move the auto off test switch to the off position to stop the generator. If the generator does not start, consult the troubleshooting section in your installation instructions. To test the automatic power transfer, move the auto off test switch to the auto position. Then turn off the double pole breaker in the service entrance panel. The generator should start, and after about 10 seconds, power should be restored. Turn the double pole breaker in the service entrance panel back on, and the autogen transfer switch will turn the generator off. To leave your ATS system in the ready position, perform the following. Turn generator ignition to on. Move auto off test switch to the auto position so green OK light is on. Put all manual transfer switches to gen, depending on model of MTS or emergency supply panel. Refer to manufacturer specifications for appropriate settings. Now, with autogen installed, you have the peace of mind that comes from having an automatic power supply on demand in any outage situation. The autogen automatic transfer switch provides a safe, reliable, permanent solution to generator power conversion. And after reading the written warranty, you know you have the best backing in the industry. For more information, consult your detailed instructions or contact Connecticut Electric.